Welcome to tutorial 20. Now that you're aware of the F major scale, you can also find out its relative minor, which is the D minor scale. In the previous tutorial, you did a song in the F major scale, so now we're going to try a song in the D minor scale. This song is my personal favorite and it's a fun song to learn too, so it makes things interesting also. It's called Arrival on Earth by Steve Jablonsky. The song was featured in the movie The Transformers. If you take a look at the sheet and look at the first bar in the treble clef, you'll see that it has a count-in bar. So you have a half note rest with a dot next to it, which makes it rest for 3/4 notes, and then you have a quarter note next to it. Before we proceed any further, take a look at the time signature. It says 4/4. So you're going to count this song as 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the key signature has a flat on the B note line in the treble clef and the bass clef, which means the B note is going to be flat for this scale, and that's either the F major scale or the D minor scale. You find out more about which scale it actually is when you play the piece, and that gives you the whole feel of the song. Also remember the pedal markings that we did in the previous track. They are also present in this sheet, so remember to lift the pedal when there's a slant to it and then press it back. So let's take a look at the treble clef or the right hand. You have a quarter note on the fourth count of the right hand. The finger positions for this one is going to be slightly tricky. Usually you would think it's a D minor scale, so you start with the D note. This is the D minor scale, one more time. However, the count-in note in here is on A, and it's A lower to the root D. If you remember the finger positions of the first song, you had first note and then you skipped a note and put the second finger on the third note after that. So we're going to start doing the same. The finger number 1 is going to go on A. You're going to skip B flat or B, and then you're going to come to C, and you're going to have the second finger on C, third on D, fourth on E, and fifth on F. This is to begin with, but it will change in the course of the song. Let's take a look at bar 2. You have a dotted half note. So coming from bar 1, which is a count-in, to bar 2's first dotted half note, you have, and then you have 2 eighth notes, which is occupying a quarter note. So a dotted half note is the same as 3/4 notes, and 2 eighth notes make 1/4 note. So that fills the bar up. You have A and D in the eighth notes. Bar 3 has an F. You'll use the fifth finger to play the F, which is a half note. And then the next half note is the C note, which you'll use the second finger to play. This is bars 1, 2, and 3. Bar 4 has a dotted half note again, but that's the E note, and you can use the fourth finger to play that. And then the eighth notes are C and E. You have a half note in the bar 5, which is the D note, so you'll use finger 3. Now you have a B flat note in the second half of the bar, so you'll use the finger you have reserved for A and just move that up to B flat. This is bars 1 through 5. Bar 6 has a D note on count 1, and that's a dotted half note. Then you have A and D again. But here's where it gets tricky. The bar 7 has A, the next octave's A. And it would be hard for you to stretch from finger 3 and have the finger 5 play A, which is 4 notes over. What I like to do is I could switch D with finger 3 with finger 2 quickly, so I have enough stretching power. You could also see if switching helps you. So in that case, you would have to play A with 3. It's an experiment. I encourage you guys to try it, but it would get messy in order to get finger number 3 on A as soon as bar 5 ends. But here's how I would do it. I would replace 3 with 2 quickly when bar 6 starts. That was bar 7. Half note A, half note F. Now this finger position works well for me because bar 8 has a G, which is a half note, and then it has quarter, F and E. Now I have D in bar 9 as a half note, and now I have to play B flat again, half note in bar 9. So I will switch finger 3 over 1 to play B flat. But here I have to also have the D note in the 10th. I have D in bar 10 again. So I need a finger available on D quickly. And I would much rather not play finger 1 on D again, because I will need that finger later. So what I'm going to do is, instead of switching 3 in bar 9, I'm going to switch 2. So you had. Now here you're going to feel a stretch to bring finger 3 back on D. But once you do that, your hand is in position for all the notes that are to follow for the next couple of bars. Now if you take a look at bar 14, you have D on the bar, which is a whole note, so that's the only note in the bar. In bar 15, you have C on the first count, but it is a half note. Then you have F and E on 3 and 4 as quarter notes. And then bar 16 comes to an end with just note D. 17 has a half note rest, so you don't play anything in that time. And then you have A and C in the bars 3 and count 3 and 4, and these are quarter notes. Bar 18 has whole note D. 19 has C, half note on the first count, and 3 and 4 are E and F. And then bar 20 has note D, and it flows over into bar 21. So you have the note D being played for 8 counts in the end. And that's the treble clef of this song. The left hand in this song is kind of repetitive and really easy to memorize if you see what chord is being arpeggiated over here. If you see bar 2 on the bass clef, you will see you have the D note all the way at the low end of the keyboard, and then you have A, you have F, you have D again, but the next octave, and then you have A again. So this is bar 2 on the bass clef. That was bar 2. Bar 3 would require you to maintain this shape that you have for fingers, but just go to F, C and F. Bar 4 will do the same, but on C, G and C. And then bar 5 does the same on B flat, F and the next B flat. So this is the left hand bars 2 to 5 on the bass clef. Notice that I am not playing these notes with the sustain pedal in action. This is what sounds like when the pedal is also applied. There is more continuity when you play it with the pedal. The same notes are in bars 6 to 9 as well. And again, the same notes are in bars 10 to 13 as well. In 14, however, you repeat B flat, C, B flat, F and B flat. 15 is the same for C. And 16 and 17 are both D, F and D. So you just play the pattern 2 times in bars 16 and 17. What you did from bar 14 onwards is exactly what happens again from bar 18 onwards. Except that you don't play the whole pattern again in bar 21, you just end it at the D note. Now if you try to break down the arpeggios over here from bars 2 to 5, which repeat for the next 8 bars, you are actually playing the D minor chord, but you're skipping the F note. You're playing D, A, and the next octaves D, and then again A. It's a common composition technique that the lower you go on the keyboard, the fewer notes you play in the chord. If you notice, D minor chord here sounds rich. You can hear the harmonics and it has a certain presence to it. So it tells you that this is the D minor chord. If I do D minor chord on an octave below, it gets muddy. The F note over here is making it unclear. But if I remove the F note, there is the presence for the D minor chord, and that's why the lower you go, the fewer notes you play. If I go lower, I would only play D and not A again. If I play A as well, it gets muddy again. There's no presence over there. In fact, there is too much presence over there. But if I play a D and a D again, the next D note, there is clarity over here. This is clear as well. This is also clear. And the higher you go, the logic reverses. You could play more notes, making it distinct. Coming back to the song. So you have bar 2 on left hand playing an arpeggiated D chord without the F note. Bar 3 is the same for the F chord without the A note. Bar 4 is the C chord without the E note. And bar 5 is the B flat major chord without the D note. This just repeats over and over again, with the exception of the last 8 bars where you go to B major chord, C major, D minor. This is what the whole song sounds like. See you in the next lesson.